Hi guys, so today I want to just go through some Nether Portal designs that I've come up with. I've done a video on the first 5 of these before, but that was quite a long time ago, and yeah, I just thought it'd be nice to sort of run through them again. So these are all biome specific Nether Portals. So I started off here in a coral reef biome. So I just built this up real quick. It's not the best looking. I think it does stick true to that Minecraft feel of a coral reef though. Our actual portal is within this mess of blocks here, and it is just kept alight by creating some air pockets using fence gates, so we can swim straight through it after we've come to the coral reef, collected all the stuff that we want to collect, come along, swim straight through, and jump straight on into the nether. And we can also go straight through to the other side if we really want to. It's just a little feature that I felt like adding. So along the back here we've just got some more fence gates so we can just go straight through to the other side. I thought it was a pretty cool little design, and it helps keep areas sort of like connected, I suppose. So you can imagine your nether portal on the other side, you could build up what I would probably do anyway for this is build up a dead coral reef and just have the same sort of thing set up there. So it's a good way for your nether tunnels to sort of connect up to the areas that you're going to, and when you come out it doesn't completely break that sort of immersion that you've tried to build within the nether. You're coming out in a relevant place to where you've been headed basically. So yeah, I think this is a pretty cool design. It's nice and simple, and yeah, it just showcases where you are and where you're going. So here we have a little desert oasis that I've built up. Again, it's just a small snippet of what it is. So we've got a nice little oasis here, and we've got our nether portal, which I've designed in a way that you can walk through this. So this would almost be like an arched hill, and you could come out the other side through like a little tunnel. So whichever side of the desert that you want to get to, you can go through. Again, it just sort of keeps things connected. We've got like dead ferns about the place, just trying to make the area look really desolate. And like we've been hunting for water for ages, and we finally found one. Got a pretty cool little custom tree I built up. I just used strip wood and had it arching over the water, just because that would make sense. It's hungry for water. But yeah, nice place to come get some shade and jump on into hell if you want to. So our next one over here is for the ice spikes biome. So yeah, again, I've built up a couple of sort of custom trees. I really like the look of the acacia wood within sort of snowy biomes. I think that does wind up looking pretty cool. Yeah, so basically all I've really done here is hollowed out a ice spike and popped the portal in there. I've used snow layers to sort of create a walkway up, make it a nice smooth transition. I think what's really important when you do things like this, unless you want to go for that just classic square look, is sort of trying to break it up a bit and placing blocks sort of in front and over the portal just to make it look almost a little bit more natural. But yeah, I think this is a pretty cool little design, and it's something you could definitely use for the ice spikes biome. Pretty happy with that one. So here I've got a plains biome. I've built up a bunch of custom trees. I built up a small little river, stream if you will. Just added some of the coral blocks and stuff like that, just to give it a load of life. And I think that's like the most important thing to do, especially within a plains biome, is just sort of bring it alive. Loads of pops of color, and loads of plant life and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, the main build for the nether portal itself is a tree that I imagine once got struck by lightning, and that's why we got the stripped oak at the top there. And it's just a sort of pathway up and into the portal. What I think is a nice little touch as well is that we can walk underneath the actual logs. Just helps to keep everything feel a bit immersive. Now, I have placed carpet with torches underneath to light the area up. But I don't really like torch spam and stuff like that. Yeah, I've also added like a fallen branch there, so it sort of ties into the fact that this tree once got struck by lightning and destroyed a bit. Really, really happy with the way this one looks in total. I was really proud of it when I built it actually. Like it was my first real step into building large custom trees, and I don't think this is too bad of a job. Definitely using World Edit these days, I reckon I can make much better ones, but yeah, I thought this was a pretty good sort of first custom tree, custom destroyed tree as well. Yeah, so this one I am really quite happy with. So this would be for the extreme hills or mountain biomes. So what I've done is built up a custom mountain area, and I wanted to make this area look really dead and again quite desolate, and almost make it look like the portal itself is sort of seeping into the land and tainting it. Um, yeah, the oak planks there, I used to use a texture pack actually when I built this, and they used to look uh, like half slabs of coarse dirt, so that's why they're there. But yeah, I built up these custom trees with acacia wood, and I used coral blocks and dead coral blocks and dead coral fins just to sort of create this dead appearance to the tree. Like, you know, the leaves are still there, but it's dying and decaying, and yeah, it really makes the area look quite evil. Really happy with the way that this one's turned out and the way that it looks. So yeah, again, this is another thing. If you want, you can walk straight through the portal, and you've got a little area behind it there that you can go in. I have put detail in. The only reason I'm not going through the portals is because if I do, it's just going to load me into the Nether. But yeah, the idea is you'd be able to just fly straight through it or walk straight through it, come into the other side, and have some cool stuff in there, and maybe some cool little builds that you've got inside. Yeah, again, it is quite small, but it is just a little showcase proof of concept style thing. Um, yeah, really happy with it. We've just got little rocks and that all over the place. So yeah, now let's move into the ones that I've not shown before. And this is for the caves. We call it a cave biome. And the shaders are going to mess this up a little bit. But basically, we've got the fog effect down there. I'm not going to turn the shaders off because I do like the way the rest of it looks. Now, with the cave biome idea, I liked the idea of sort of having the portal a little bit more hidden. It's not the main focal point of this. So we've got this little wooden rope bridge here that you can't really see the string. There are chickens, as you can hear, hidden in between some of these blocks, and it creates like a string effect. It works best without shaders on, but you know, shaders help everything look better, so I don't want to take away from it. This is actually taken from an idea I had in my survival series that I used to do. The videos are all now no longer on YouTube, but yeah, this is basically like a miniature recreation of it. And yeah, it's just the portal's just hidden in the back there within the rocks, and you know, if you was to carry on down this side, then it'd take you on to wherever it's going to go. Got the ravine and the little fog effect down there, and yeah, started using the lanterns and stuff like that because I really like the feel that you get in a cave like this when you chuck lanterns and stuff like that about. I've also got some slime blocks within the wall, so the idea behind that is to just carry on that idea of this this fog effect sort of seeping up through the rocks, again making it look quite evil and all of that sort of good stuff. So yeah, that's the little cave biome one. Now I thought I'd do a Nether sort of build. Doesn't really work as well out here. Maybe I should have just built it within the Nether, but yeah. So imagine we've got our general Nether, and we've got a Nether Fortress. Now Nether Fortresses look quite bland in general. Not a huge fan of them. So essentially, what I've done is taken the idea of one of the pillars and modifying it. We've got a sort of man-made bridge looking here, and then we've got just an evil looking tower, as opposed to just the random stilts that we get. I really am a fan of like the Nether blocks. I think they look pretty good, but it can be quite hard to see detail with them sometimes because they all blend in. It's really handy that we've got things like this. So we've got the fences and we've got the walls, so it does allow you to add a lot of detail in. And yeah, we just got loads of detail put into this build, and I think if you was going through the Nether and you come across this, it would just look really cool, as opposed to your bog standard Nether Fortress. And again, it just ties it in, you know, this is the reason why we're here. We've come to the Nether Fortress to gather something. Ties your overworld into your Nether, because I think sometimes the Nether doesn't get quite enough love. But yeah, really quite happy with this build. I think it looks pretty good, especially from this angle. Actually, you can actually see some of the detail, even though this side isn't actually complete. I've done most of it, just not all of it. I think I just literally missed out that section there. But yeah, it's a mixture of Nether bricks and the red Nether bricks, just in alternating patterns, just to keep it quite interesting, and some more of the Nether portal in the top, just to tie the bottom section into the top a little bit. Okay, so moving over, I went for a swamp biome. Now, I actually quite like the swamp biomes. I think they're really cool and underused, um, especially when you start adding like the little fog effects in and all of that sort of stuff. Like, remove the water, replace it all with the glass fog, and I think it looks great. So we've got some custom trees. I chucked in some custom giant mushrooms as well, just because I felt like they fit in a bit better with a swamp biome than they do with the roofed forest biome. But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. So I just built up a house and sort of made it look destroyed. I actually just used TNT to do this, which isn't the best way to do it, but I've added debris around the bottom there to make it look like it actually has fallen apart, and I've just placed the portal on the inside. I just thought, if you're sort of walking through a swamp or walking through your world and you just see this destroyed house, you're gonna want to come and investigate, and I think it looks pretty cool. We've got the all the range campfire bridges. I think pretty much everyone is using these now, and there's a reason. It looks really good, and it's nice to just have a nice simple block that we can make simple bridges out of, rather than just using slabs, because slabs get kind of boring, and this has got depth built in to just the single one block that it is. So it does wind up looking pretty cool. I'm a big fan of it. We've got an actual campfire over there as well, so imagine people just stopped off to sort of rest within a swamp. I don't know why you'd rest in a swamp, but hey, they have. Okay, so coming over again, this would be my roofed forest idea. So what I was going for with this is, as you're walking through your dense roofed forest, you just come to this massive opening with a little drop down, and it's just a stone archway with the Nether portal within it. But I think all in all, it gives it a really nice look, especially from up above. And you know, if you're walking along again, you're going to be like, "Oh, what's going on over here? There's a huge hole." And you got your Nether portal down there. It's just a nice little area, just to open up the roof forests a little bit. Again, loads of colour and life, and if you really wanted to, which I did add in, as the waterfall here is sort of coming down, you just hollow it out a bit. You can put a build in there, hide some stuff, do whatever you want to do with it. And yeah, again, I'm really proud of this design. I'm really proud of all of the designs, which I keep saying. So I decided afterwards that I wanted to do something that we could place high up in the air. And this is kind of a rehash of the plains biome build. But again, just as a floating island. So you can imagine you've got all your different floating islands. You've got your houses on some. You got the builds about the place, and then right up in the sky next to it, you've got this giant tree just on an island by itself with the Nether portal built in. And yeah, I really liked that idea, and it's something I'd quite like to do going ahead in the series that I'm working on. I definitely want to get into building some floating islands and basically build a city in the sky, or we could do castle in the sky, do some Laputa, something like that. Take some inspiration from Laputa anyway. Yeah, again, looks really great, and it's made really simply with world edit commands. I just built up some large trees and dropped a load of sand on it whilst it was up one way, converted it into the blocks that I wanted to use, and then just flipped it over and pasted it in, and that gave us a nice floating island. And yeah, and then just built things up around it. Obviously this is taking a very fantasy vibe to it. Yeah, of course it'd be taking a fantasy vibe, but yeah, so there's 10 really quick portal designs for different biomes, and even giving you something up in the sky to think about. I mean, you could build anything on here. You could chuck a tower on top of it and chuck the portal in there, and even that would wind up looking pretty cool. I just really love the idea of like building up a sky base. I think that's definitely something I want to be doing soon. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope it's given you some ideas of what you can do with portals in different biomes. Because I do think sometimes it can be quite boring. Like, we build our nether portals and we just hide them underground and don't really integrate them into the world. And I just really like the idea of having it all integrated. With all that being said though, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.